start joking around, having some fun. Because after about 2.5 hours of being serious, I don't put on an act here on air. I'm just telling you why I act goofy. After about 2.5 hours being serious, on average, my brain just can't be serious anymore and just goes into R&R mode and starts having fun. So I apologize. Because there I am talking about nukes going off in the U.S., and I'm singing along with Billy Idol, making a joke out of it. I don't think it's a joke. I'm totally upset. The globalists will grab total power out of this attack, and I'm starting to think it's going to be atomic or nuclear. And we've shown a lot of evidence of that. Inhofe says that ISIS has got stuff to destroy a whole U.S. city. What do you think does that? Obama says his number one fear is a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan. You got all the preparations, and I said a year ago, 6 months ago, and a month ago, I said it every week. They're going to let ISIS take over the Middle East, and they're going to attack Europe and attack the United States and shoot down airplanes with the heat-seeking missiles they've been given. And I will be attacked when it happens, probably arrested or killed. I mean, this isn't like they're just going to demonize me going into the future. I mean, because it'll be so powerful that I've already exposed that the government's behind this, that they're not going to want me running around when all this happens. Of course, under the new EAS system, they'll just turn off InfoWars, Facebook, Twitter, and my YouTube. Folks got to be ready for this. They've announced the internet kill switch selectively deployed against whoever they want. You won't be going to the Drudge Report. You won't be going to WorldNet Daily. You won't be getting Rush Limbaugh even. People ask what's going to happen when the nuke goes off. We got Mike in Canada asking that question. People will be so hurt when there's 100,000 dead in the crater zone, 200, 300,000 radiated around it. That's a small one at ground zero level. Let's say it's a big one. Let's say they blow up New York, kills 5 million people in the epicenter, wounds another 5 million. Everything collapses. They say, oh, the dollar went under and everything because we were hit and the Russians were with Al-Qaeda. I mean, you can just write the script. And it'll be, I don't care if Alex Jones predicted it all. Arrest him. How dare him say. I mean, people will just get into this primitive mode of, I want to kill somebody. And the average conservative will salute Obama. And Obama will say, turn your firearms in, and you're going to turn them in. Yes, sir. Do whatever they say. Because you love it. I'm talking about mainline people. Just buy into whatever's comfortable to believe. Just like 16-year-old girls would get in the car with Ted Bundy because he was wearing a suit and tie and driving a little cute little non-threatening car. He told the police why he picked it to be non-threatening. Like Warren Buffett's always eating ice cream and, I'm just a sweet little man. I'm not a eugenics black op commander with secret military bases that I run. Oh, yeah. Up in Nebraska. Oh, ice cream. I'm non-threatening. Get in the car with me. I mean, what a sick joke. It's the same thing with the NPR on the non-threatening. All things considered, brought to you by the Annenberg Foundation, CPB, Ford Foundation, and Rockefeller Brothers Trust for a better world. Oh, they're so liberal. Oh, sleepy. Oh, nice, quiet, non-threatening voice. Everything is wonderful. Everything is awesome when you're part of a team. Everything is trendy when you're part of the dream. You can also do a version where everything is racist when you disagree with your government. Everything is racist. Everything is terrorist. Unless you're a real terrorist, then we give you heat-seeking missiles. Can we queue up Everything is Awesome? Let's go to the phone calls. Mike in Canada says, nuke goes off. Do we still go to work? Oh, yes. They're going to order you in other regions. Go to work, shop, show you're strong, volunteer to be part of the strike forces. We're sure Al-Qaeda did it. IS. And they may have been working with the Tea Party and some of the radical groups, but Russia may be involved as well. Luckily, we're massing troops on their border. Get behind the official story, or you're for murdering everyone. But I'm sorry, Mike. You wanted to know, or you wanted me to tell you my opinion? Go ahead.
I just had a terrible thought while listening to you. Imagine if over 230 years ago, the America that is today founded America. Imagine how terrible it would be by now. I mean, thank God that at least we're becoming aware.
Well, that's right. It wasn't perfect back then, but compared now, it was the age of chivalry and the age of men compared to the age of fake men and cowards. But it would never have been as successful. There were plenty of countries founded on lies and total fraud. We were only founded on partial lies and fraud, but on the greatest free market experiment ever done, and more liberty than any other country. That's why we had success. We wouldn't be who we were today if we didn't have so much freedom. But go ahead.
The other thing, too, is I'm surprised this hasn't been hit on more, because it's proof that Hillary Clinton and her cohort have been involved with ISIS. Because what did she say? We came, we saw, and we conquered. She didn't do that with the troops from America. That was done by these same people that they're talking about now.
That's right. She said, she quoted Julius Caesar. I came, I saw, or we came, we saw, we conquered. She also came and laughed. We came, we saw, he died. Talking about Muammar Gaddafi, who compared to ISIS, he had reformed for a decade, given up his weapons, invested his money with the West, had, met with Obama. He bought into all of it, showing how naive even world leaders are. And they set him up, and they took that country down, and now our own government admits Libya is dozens of times worse than it was.
Muammar Gaddafi warning every Muslim leader that you're next. In it, Assad is laughing. I mean, it's such an interesting thing. But what I really wanted to ask you, Alex, and I'll get it in quick, I asked my buddies around here because I've started stocking up on silver, firearms. The other thing, the problem that I have, though, is when I ask my friends, I say, if a nuke goes off in the United States, because you have Obama, Dick Cheney, you have people in Congress talking about it. If that was happening in Canada, Premier Harper, Premier Martin talking about us being nuked, there would be huge hysteria. People would be wondering, well, what are you talking about and what are you doing to deal with it? Well, if something goes off in the States, should I continue to go to work or should I stay at home?
Well, we'll have to look at it at that point. We're trying to stop that happening right now, but this is a great call, great points that you're making here, Mike. Our media, the corporate media, the mainstream media, the dinosaur media, the kleptocrat media, the Decepticon media, the state-run media is so ridiculous that they should be freaking out and asking Obama every day forever, what do you mean a nuke going off in New York? What do you mean Senator Graham telling CBS News at a press conference there's nukes loose in the U.S. and the Carolinas or New York are about to be hit, imminent Assad, right when we announce there's missing nukes. I mean, but no, they all just know to shut up because that's scary. They'd rather talk about a house was robbed today in Austin and someone stole a kitten that was being given antibiotics and it may be sick. Top story tonight. I was watching the news last night and it was a missing kitten who may be sick. So I wanted to see the weather report. And before I could see the weather, I had to hear about a missing kitten because they knew that's just a missing kitten. It's all about fake feel good about, oh, and did you get your vaccines? We don't want you to get sick at school. Just all preying on people. Can you imagine the soft population when the entire financial center gets blown to hell? And there will be floods of money out of the country before that happens, which is already going on. And this is only a possibility. But see, what did I keep saying 6 months ago with the whole Dias emergency and then now? I said, if they start promoting nukes going off, you know that they are already looking at deploying them and detonating them. And see, stuff goes on like congressmen get calls, like Rand Paul and people. I'm not saying that I heard about this from him. I'm just saying that hypothetically. They get calls and they go, it's going to be too bad, Senator, when the nukes go off because we've got intel that nukes are here. And if we don't think we can politically fix things in this country, the terrorists might just detonate nukes. And we want to make sure your family gets out during this time, gets out of D.C. You understand? We want to protect you. It's a very dangerous world. And what do you do when someone's openly threatening you like that? But it's for real. I mean, I've had the establishment, that's the standard pitch, is listen, the public wants to tear you apart. They hate you because you're successful and smart. You need to join the elite and try to influence it from the inside, and you'll be protected when all this stuff comes down. You're absolutely right about the future. There will be no America as you know it, and you need to either leave the United States and shut up or join with Sauron. They don't say it like that, but they or join. And then the offers come in to go to this party or go to this event or go to this corporate junket. Or, folks, if I told people the stuff I've been offered, I won't even tell people because it sounds too ridiculous. Believe me, it's beyond being invited to be a keynote speaker at Oxford. And then I turned that down, and I was offered Oxford and Cambridge to address the main, deal, like presidents and Gandhi have done and Martin Luther King. I'm not bragging about that, but that's the kind of stuff that goes on. Like right around the time they were saying, come to England, I was also approached by super high-level people who said, would you like to come be part of an event? And I said, what's that event? And they said, well, it's what you talk about. But you want to come to this event, there's no getting out. People say, why don't you tell us who told you this? I wouldn't be told all this stuff if I told people the stuff that goes on, okay? I'm just here to tell you, I'm not bragging. The stuff I talk about here on air has got the establishment's attention. You know why? Because they want to know how I know all this stuff. They want to know why I understand them. And it's not magic. I've studied enough history and watched how they operate and seen all the different angles of it. You can see what they're doing. So, I mean, I'm just here to tell everybody this is real. Thank you, Mike. Great caller. Yeah, you asked me, what do you do? I don't know. I'm so busy running my operation and fighting these people, I don't have all the preparations in place for my family. I got a wall around the house, a well, some solar, stuff like that, but I don't even have my family in order. I can't even run my own life properly. And I mean, most people will see my family and say it's going great. No, I feel guilty every minute of the day that I'm not just taking care of my family and getting out of here. But that's an animal level instinct to run. But every day it gnaws at me. Every day I get angry. Every day I get upset about it because I'm just staying here in place while I see the water rising because I know I got to wait till the tank goes all the way full. That's when the latch opens when we got a chance to get out of here. I got to be in the tank when people finally can't breathe and they're going, oh, what do we do? Then we can get out of the tank. It's like a Houdini trick. You can't get to the latch. It doesn't trigger till the tank's completely full and the lights go off. Then you got to control yourself, not panic, get in there and try to get out. It's at the crisis point that we've got to be in place, all of us, for the maximum effort. And I believe God will guide us at that point with the answers of what needs to be done. But, I mean, this is all real. I know it's real. I mean, I've been approached by multiple angles. And so I just hope everybody understands, folks, that there's a real... You think 9/11 was big? I told you something much bigger is coming 13 years ago, probably nuclear. And now you see them promoting it. Just like before 9/11, they were saying, get ready for terror attacks, give your rights up when it happens. They're now preparatory. They're now getting everybody ready.
When it comes to our security, with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan, which is part of the reason why...
All right. Let's go to Jason in Tennessee. Thanks for holding. Listening on 1470 AM WBCR, one of our oldest affiliates. You're on the air, Jason.
Alex, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thanks for putting up with me. What's your point?
It's wonderful to talk to you again. I just want to let you know I've been praying for you and your whole crew. And y'all do great work. But I was the chief engineer at a hotel for 7 years. And there was an Army contractor that stayed there all the time. He was there about as much as he was in Afghanistan. And he said that, you talk about the FEMA camps and all that. He said that when the collapse comes, that basically anybody who makes less than $100,000 a year is going to be put in the camps. That was straight out of his mouth. And he was very connected, so to speak,
And it's going to be worse than that. I mean, when they're done, it's just the end of everything. They want to break this country forever. I want to hear more about this. I'm going to come back to you, Jason. We'll do some overdrive. Yes, the show is sensational. Yes, it's absolutely out of control. Yes, it's based on the near future reality that we're living in. The government is making preparations for a nuke to go off in the U.S. and allowing ISIS to come into the country, who's clearly infiltrating at every level. It is a Saudi Arabian deal with the globalists to destabilize the country. And Jason in Tennessee, so you would talk to this, I think you said in your words, high-level Army or military contractor who stayed in the hotel a lot of the time. And did he say he had firsthand knowledge of the FEMA camps, or was that his opinion about anybody making less than $100,000 a year would be put in one?
No, yeah, he seemed to have firsthand knowledge. Like he had heard it and he knew it. See, there's a smoking area outside the hotel where all the housekeepers would go smoke. And the customers would go smoke there too. And he would hear them talking, political stuff, and most of it what they heard from me because I listened to your show, and he couldn't believe that they knew what they knew. He couldn't believe it, but he confided in me. He told me that basically the plan is anybody making less than $100,000 a year is going to the camp when the nuke goes off or the biological weapon or whatever their plan is.
Well, that's what they tell people because they know most of the contractors are making more of that, so they feel like they're part of the establishment. You're going to have all sorts of people that are working class that have special security badges that are allowed to go and come. It's basically anybody they want, they're going to grab and throw in these things. It's like they tell the professors, we're going to release a bioweapon down the road, and it's going to kill 90%, but you're going to be given the cure. Now, higher level ones, because I've talked to them, and they've been out there on air, no, they've been told, no, everybody's going to die. And they're like, it's okay, it's for the earth. I'm ready to die. My family's ready to die. Like Dr. Pianka said that on the news. I know I have to die, and my family does too. And when it comes, we're sad about it, but it's for the earth. But when you get into deeper globalist documents, they plan to kill down to 1%. Now, I don't know they'll ever even do that. That's just what they talk about, and they tend to try whatever they talk about. But they want to get everything ratcheted down first. They got to get rid of a few sovereign countries first, because even though those countries are corrupt and have problems, they could put up a resistance later. They could put up a resistance down the road to the globalists, and they don't want that. They want only a global state attacking the individual with just no way to get around it, with a panopticonic internet control grid over everything. I appreciate your call. Interesting story. Mark in Kansas, you're on the air. Then we'll go to break and come back with Rico and others. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Alex, bless you, your family, and your crew. Shout out to your crew for that great Ferguson reporting. Hey, I heard one of your previous callers talk about everybody needs to be citizen journalists. Well, you have inspired me to create an app to do just that.
Good. Tell us about it.
It's called Spread It Now. Spread It is one word without an A, now. S-P-R-E-D-I-T, now. When you use an iPhone, it takes about 5 or 6 steps to send out a video. The police can detain you, take that phone and delete it. With my app, you press start, stop, send. It cannot be stopped, it cannot be deleted, and it cannot be jammed. And it puts a decoy copy into the photo cache. So if somebody does grab your phone and deletes that video, it's already gone. They're deleting a decoy.
God bless you for your support. We couldn't do any of it without you shopping at InfoWarsStore.com. God bless you. I want to say great job for the crew, our sponsors, affiliates, listeners this week. Great job with the reporters up in Ferguson, as the last caller said. Let's get 3 final calls. Serena, Greg, and Andrew in. Serena, thanks for holding. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi. It's actually Sabrina.
I'm sorry, Sabrina. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm actually calling because years ago, about 8 years ago, I moved in this town. This town is so small, it doesn't have a big public official like a governor or anything like that. It's that small. But there's a base on here that's a reserve base, and the reserve base would only have 1 or 2 Hummer trucks in there. And I noticed about about a year ago or so, they started putting more vehicles in there, and that were really they looked more high tech and stuff. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I think it was probably within this past week, I found stuff on the internet for them looking for positions, for people to fill positions over there for martial law enforcers and stuff. I found all sorts of strange stuff on the internet about that, about the government looking for all types of jobs like that.
Yeah, well, that's on the Fed Biz Ops. They're hiring for foreign operations and domestic internment specialists at metric levels 10, 20, 30 times, depending on which area it is that we've ever seen. There's just a massive buildup for domestic suppression. while the government starts talking about ISIS hitting us and nukes going off, and they armed ISIS and are protecting them. I mean, it's 2 + 2 = 4. It makes me want to throw up. God bless you. I appreciate your call. It's arming ISIS is treason right there. And then you add everything else to it. It's just mind-blowing. Greg in Minnesota, thanks for holding. Go ahead. Michigan, go ahead.
It's in Michigan there, Alex.
I know, Michigan. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no problem at all. Hey, listen, I just wanted to make you and your listeners aware of a radio show that took place here in the Detroit area last week on a Faith Talk. It's WLQV Faith Talk 1500. A trucker called in. They were discussing on that radio show all of the stuff that was going on in Ferguson and the militarization of the police and that type of thing. And a trucker called in on that radio show talking about how he had to make a delivery at a warehouse in Detroit.
And then martial law signs fell out?
No, what happened was when he pulled in there, there was it was full of tanks and all types of military vehicles and equipment inside there.
Okay, so I've always heard the martial law thing, but no, I mean, they are deploying the tanks. They are deploying Bradley fighting vehicles and others all over the country. That is confirmed, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I know. It was just that what he was talking about was this warehouse, and there was a Homeland Security guy on the inside of the warehouse when he pulled in there. It's on the podcast if you want the...
do me a favor. Will you email that to showtips@infowars.com, sir?
I sure will.
Thank you, Greg. You're just awesome. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thank you for all you do, man.
All right, thanks for putting up with me. Let's talk to Rico in Michigan again. Go ahead, Rico.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm all right, brother.
It's I'm new to listener, but probably, I don't know, it seems like years, but it's probably been about 9 months.
Well, good to have you on board, brother. We got about a minute. Go ahead.
Eugenics. I think that's the key to this whole thing, because people, until they really grasp that is real, nothing else matters, because they just go, oh, GMOs, yeah, I'll just eat organic, or I'll filter my water, or whatever. But when they hit eugenics, that's when I really woke up.
That's right. We have a purposeful global scientific dictatorship that wants to dumb us down and then kill us in their own words. Once you know that, then it all makes sense. Well, good job, brother. We appreciate you. Spread the word about liberty. Everybody else that's telling the truth. And please spread the word about prisonplanet.tv. Nightly news tonight, 7 o'clock. I'll be back live, Lord willing. I don't take it for granted, Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Take care.